going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review. And today, I wanted to look forward to next year and my most anticipated movies for 2019. Now, everybody's going to have their personal flavors, and I really like dramatic acting in movies and things like that. But to be honest, I really love just going and being amazed and turn my brain off and just enjoy a spectacle. You know, I'm the type of guy where I'm not going to try to pick apart movie plots and things like that when it comes to comic book movies and things, because I don't go into it expecting a really great story. If I want a really great story, I go watch something like Braveheart or American Beauty or something like that. I go into these just for the enjoyment value. And that's kind of where I'm at with myself in the theater nowadays. I love the comic movies. I like the special effects, the explosions. I like, you know, all the CGI that goes along with it. Seeing something I've never seen before. And seeing these worlds created that are just amazing to look at. And that's where I'm at with movies. So when I come into this movie list, that's what I'm looking for. Now, not every movie on this list is going to fit that, but a lot of them do. Because I'm a comic guy, as you can see. So, with that in mind, I'm going to start out with my number 10 pick. And my number 10 pick is going to be Hellboy. I really liked the Hellboy series before, and I'm kind of glad they're adding to it, and I guess it's kind of a sequel, but also kind of a reboot to the series. You have David Harbour now as Hellboy, and he's, you know, filling some pretty big shoes, but I really like David Harbour. If you don't know, he's the guy who plays the cop in Stranger Things, and I really like that series, and I think he does a great job there. And you have Mila Jovovich, who's coming back with Nimue the Blood Queen. So that's pretty cool. You got Neil Marshall directing it, and you got Andrew Cosby and Mike Mignola, who are, you know, half co-writers on this. So it looks like it has a lot of potential to just be a fun movie, which I hope it is.
I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. I want you to respond truthfully. Have you ever hurt someone?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced anything you'd consider abnormal?
Yes.
Last question. Do you know what mutants are? Did you know baby rattlesnakes are more dangerous than adult ones? They haven't learned how to control how much venom they secrete. All of you are dangerous. That's why you're here.
What is this place?
This isn't a hospital. It's a haunted house.
You've been through a lot. Get some rest.
Number 9 on my list is actually a branch off the X-Men movies, and it's the New Mutants. Now, originally, it was a big question mark on whether this movie was even going to be put out or not, just like X-Men Dark Phoenix. It was kind of just prior to Disney purchasing out Fox movies, and there was a lot of reshoots for both movies, and there was talk of both of them just being scrapped completely. But now we know it is coming, and it is coming next year. So it's directed by Josh Boone, has an amazing cast. Antonio Banderas, you got Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones. She plays Wolfsbane. Very, very cool. Anya Taylor-Joy, she plays Ilyana Rasputin, or Magic. Charlie Heaton plays Cannonball. Charlie Heaton, he is the kind of nerdy teenage guy in Stranger Things, the one with the camera. So that's kind of cool. You have somebody from Game of Thrones and somebody from Stranger Things in the movie. You got Blue Hunt, that's her name, as Danielle Moonstar, or Mirage. So, I mean, just a good cast, and a good cast of characters, and something that really branches out the X-Men universe. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've always said the X-Men movie is like really the granddaddy of the entire new comic movie genre. And so I have a huge love for X-Men.
So many trees.
It's beautiful, right?
That's definitely not Boston.
Here we go. Okay, so what do you think?
Wow. This whole place is ours?
I even got him to throw in a whole forest as a new backyard.
It was a myth. Kids used to dare each other to go into the woods at night. They knew the power of that place. They feared it. Those woods belong to something else. The ground is bad. It may be just some crazy folk tale, but there is something up in those woods. There's something that brings things back. Sometimes dead is better.
Next you have Pet Sematary. And this one I'm excited to see, but I'm also a bit apprehensive at the same time. This is a movie that I absolutely loved when I was growing up. I was pretty young when I seen the first one, and, you know, not necessarily the best movie to be seeing that young, because it is kind of creepy. But it's an adaptation of a Stephen King novel. It's directed by Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmeyer. And you have Jason Clarke and Amy Seimetz, who play Lewis and Rachel Creed, respectively. And John Lithgow, I thought, was a very, very, very interesting choice to play Judd Crandall. The original Judd Crandall, man, was such a great, great character and performance. And John Lithgow, he's got some really big shoes to fill, to be very honest. But I am excited to see this. I do want to see where it goes. And come on, how can you go wrong? Stephen King, I'm sold.
You told me the story of the war, when the ground shook and the sky burned. Of the ones that survived, who awoke to a different world, where the powerful prey on the weak. But that's not the way it has to be.
When I found you, your very human brain was miraculously intact.
It's the loneliest feeling not to know who you are.
In time, you'll remember.
Alita is new here.
It's a harsh world down here.
You gotta be willing to do what it takes.
Alita, run!
My God. She's the last of her kind. She contains technology that have been lost for 300 years.
Let me show you something.
This body, I feel a connection to it. I can't explain. You know more about me than you're saying.
Alita, some things are better left forgotten.
And I'll find out for myself.
She's threatening the natural order of things. I need you to destroy her. Alita, they will come for you.
I'll have to face them head on. I'm gonna need you to stand way back.
Tonight is not a game. It is a hunt.
Across this new river.
I'm with her.
Next on our list is Alita Battle Angel, and this actually might be higher on the list at this point, but you know, I'm going by the list I made at the time. And it just looks so damn good. So you've got Robert Rodriguez directing. You got writing credits from James Cameron, Robert Rodriguez, and I'm going to try to get this name right, Leida Kilgradis. Let's go with that. Based on a graphic novel of the same name, and just looks amazing. It's got Rosa Salazar playing Alita, Michelle Rodriguez, Jennifer Connelly, Christoph Waltz, and one of the main characters, Dr. Dyson Ido, Casper Van Dien. And this movie just looks amazing. The special effects they've used look top-notch. The CGI is amazing. And the story looks cool too, man. So I'm very excited to see Alita Battle Angel.
War is a universal language. I know a renegade soldier when I see one. Never occurred to me that one might come from above. Space invasion, big car chase. Truth be told, I was ready to hang it up till I met you today. So you're not from around here?
It's hard to explain. I keep having these memories. I see flashes. I think I had a life here. But I can't tell if it's real.
We have no idea what threats are out there. We can't do this alone. We need you.
I'm not what you think I am.
Next up is Captain Marvel, and I think this isn't higher on the list for me when it comes to the Marvel movies. I'm a huge fan, but while Captain Marvel is an amazing character in the comics, I don't know if it's just the promotion for this movie hasn't been all that great yet. I definitely do want to see more of it. But I have, at the same time, I have grown to trust Marvel Studios. They really have done no wrong. So with that, the main character is Brie Larson. She plays Carol Danvers, or Captain Marvel. Samuel L. Jackson reprises his role as Nick Fury. And it's cool because this is kind of like an 80s movie, set in the 80s. And so they do a great job of making him look a lot younger. You have Jude Law playing Walter Lawson, who is Marvel. Gemma Chan plays Minerva, which is funny because there's another Minerva coming out in Wonder Woman. And she's actually Cheetah. But yeah, so there's a Minerva for each, Marvel and DC. I've grown to trust Marvel, and I have to believe that this will be a very entertaining movie, if nothing else. Next up on the list is It Chapter 2. This is another Stephen King adaptation and another Stephen King remake. Both It and Pet Sematary have been done before. They come back, and so far, the first It movie in the reboot was amazing. I really loved it. I thought it was just great. So this is directed by Andy Muschietti, and writing credits are Gary Dauberman, who did the screenplay, and of course Stephen King. And the cast is, again, really, really good. You have Sophia Lillis, who played young Beverly. She's back as the child. I thought she did a really good job in the first one. Jessica Chastain plays the older version. You have Bill Skarsgård coming back as Pennywise, and he killed it. Bill Skarsgård was just great as Pennywise. You have James McAvoy coming in as the older Bill Denbrough. You have Bill Hader coming in as the older Richie, which I thought that was an interesting choice, but honestly, Bill Hader's proving to be a very good actor. You have Jack Dylan Grazer returning as young Eddie, and he was really good too, man. I was really impressed with him. So, honestly, It Chapter 2 just seems like it's going to be a very, very damn good movie. I really enjoyed the first one, and it looks like the cast for the second is just as good.
You've run from foster homes in 6 counties. I can take care of myself.
When you're 18, give these people a chance, because that's what they're giving you.
This is Billy Batson. Make sure you make him feel at home.
They seem nice, but don't buy it. It gets real Game of Thrones around here. Dude, just messing around. You look at me and you're like, why so dark? You're a disabled foster kid. You've got it all. If you could have one superpower, what would you pick? Everybody chooses flight. You know why?
So they can fly away from this conversation?
No, because heroes fly.
What, you need your fake family to stand up for you? Hey! Man, sorry about that.
Go, go, go! Grab it! Get out the way!
Billy Batson, I choose you as champion.
Hello?
Say my name so my powers may flow through you.
But I don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Are you for real?
Say, okay!
Shazam?
This means Billy!
What is happening?
You're the only person I know that knows anything about this Cape Crusader stuff.
Can I?
Oh, yeah. That's crazy, right?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
AM to the PM, PM to the AM.
You have super strength! Can you fly?
If I quit your PM, I still rock Mercedes. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
You okay? Why are you talking?
Be on move. Sit down.
You know, I don't think that's gonna buff out.
Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged.
The hell?
You're like a bad guy, right?
Shazam!
I'm bulletproof.
You're dead.
Sorry about your window,
Have a
but
good night.
you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.
Next up, you have Shazam. I really am looking forward to this movie. I'm looking forward to this movie because I want DC to get back on track, and it looks like with Aquaman they might get there. And with Shazam backing it up, they've now got a bit more of a family-friendly comedy action movie, and I think that's something that DC desperately needs. So, you have David Sandberg, who's directing this, and you have Zachary Levi coming in as Shazam, Mark Strong coming in as Thaddeus Savannah, you have Adam Brody, it doesn't really say what his role is, but you have Jamon Hunsao, or however you say his name, as the Wizard, Jack Dylan Grazer, who's also in It, he's coming in as Freddie Freeman, and you have Asher Angel as Billy Batson. And from the first trailer that I saw, I mean, yeah, the action looked cool on it, but I really love how fun they made the movie look this time around, and that's important. I think that's extremely important for DC to have a movie that just looks fun. So, I am excited. I am very excited to see Shazam.
You think you can fix me?
Jean, you are not broken.
This is the end, beautiful friend.
The mind is a fragile thing. Takes only the slightest tap to tip it in the wrong direction.
This is the end.
Charles, what did you do?
I had to keep her stable. I protected her.
From the truth? There's another word for that.
I came looking for answers.
You feel like you don't belong here. You don't. They can't begin to comprehend what you are.
She's changing.
And what?
You didn't come here looking for answers. You came here looking for permission.
Jean.
She's all rage, pain, and it's all coming out at once.
Jean lost control, but she's still our friend.
This is your fault, Charles.
The world is on the brink. I'm sorry I didn't stop it sooner.
You're always sorry, Charles. And there's always a speech. And nobody cares.
There's still hope. Don't do this.
They're right to fear me.
I've seen evil. And I'm looking at it now.
Next up on our list is The Dark Phoenix. X-Men Dark Phoenix. It's about damn time. I hope they do it right, because they tried it once before and just massacred it. Just completely changed everything about it. Now this has all the usual suspects that you expect from an X-Men movie. It has Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. You've got James McAvoy, of course, Michael Fassbender, and I love the chemistry between those two. Nicholas Hoult. Sophie Turner coming in as Jean Grey, who is the Phoenix. You have Evan Peters returning as Quicksilver, which was a very, very funny part of the last couple of X-Men movies. So I really, really love that they're doing this. This is Simon Kinberg, who is directing, and he's directing another movie in here that I just talked about. And so I'm really hopeful with this movie, because being such an X-Men fan, being that they're so important to the comic book movie genre that has been built I really want this to do well. And with the cast, they definitely have the potential. They just have to have the right writing, the right directing. You know, it's really important that they work on the story of Jean Grey and the inner turmoil that she's going to be facing, and how other characters are going to have to deal with her major changes. I mean, you have to focus on the characters. You have to focus on the emotional turbulence in it. Otherwise, I don't think it'll sell. So I hope they do a good job with that. But I am looking forward to it. It's definitely up on my list because of that. Because it has so much potential. Next on my list, I was really torn on some of these picks because, well, first of all, some of the movies got shifted around. Like originally Wonder Woman was on this list. Now that movie's not even coming out next year. They pushed it back quite a bit. So I had to do some flip-flopping with this list, and I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted here, but, you know, I thought that after Infinity War Part 2, whatever the actual name's going to be, I really wanted to see what the next direction was, and that's Spider-Man Far From Home. And so I put that up here because I am invested in the Marvel Universe. I think they've done a great job of building 10 years worth of characters, and now adding in Spider-Man and with his own solo movies, I think is absolutely great. I mean, it's about time we had Spider-Man in the Avengers. Having said that, Spider-Man Far From Home comes out after the next Infinity War movie. It's directed by John Watts. Of course, it's got Tom Holland returning. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal coming in as Quentin Beck, or Mysterio. Well, that's cool. Marissa Tomei comes back. Samuel L. Jackson comes back. You got Sean Favreau. It does have Michael Keaton returning as the Vulture. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But, yeah, I do want to see where they go after, especially, you know, this year's Infinity War. We all know what happened there. I really want to see how they handle that in Infinity War, and then see what happens beyond that. So I am very invested in this. So Spider-Man Far From Home gets the number 2 spot.
Elijah's changed over the years. He's given up.
We keep him heavily sedated.
But there is a reason for that.
He's too smart for them.
You won't be lonely anymore. You have 2 new friends.
The 3 of you think you have extraordinary gifts, like something out of a comic book. I've developed an effective treatment for this disorder. The light will force a different identity to take over.
Por favor, señora. I want my headphones back.
Step away from the controls now, little dog.
Can't beat the beast!
So you're not going to shake my hand and let me walk out of here?
Good for you. What do you want?
I am here to see if tales of the extraordinary being are true. May I meet the beast?
I'm Mary Reynolds.
I need your abilities to get us all out of here and show the world we exist. That sounds like the bad guys teaming up. Do you believe you are an avenging angel, partner? I believe. Avenge us.
I have to get out of here before he gets out.
They are contained.
They always underestimate the mastermind.
It has begun, David. I found someone who will require your full potential. You shouldn't be hiding in the shadows. You might want to try and stop us. A lot of people are going to die.
Now, who'd like a PB and J sandwich?
We're not meant to have this much power.
Finally, all of us together for the world to see what we are capable of.
You need to get out of here.
What have you done, Elijah?
And before I go ahead and nail the #1 spot, I want to do a few honorable mentions. There's a lot of movies coming out next year that look really good. I'm just going to name them off. I'm not going to get too deep into them. But Glass is definitely one of them. It's the end of the Unbreakable trilogy. 3 amazing characters. I really like the storyline, so I do want to see that. John Wick 3, Parabellum. It's just a very fun action movie. And, you know, Keanu Reeves really sells well with these movies, so I like it. Definitely want to see what they do to end the trilogy here. Secret Life of Pets 2, I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was very, very cute. It made me laugh out loud plenty. So I was very happy to see it. And then one movie in particular that I didn't put on the top 10 that maybe I should have, to be very honest, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And if you don't know what this movie is yet, it is the Quentin Tarantino pick that deals with the Manson family. And so it's sure to be plenty twisted, plenty graphic, typical Tarantino. But the cast on this is ridiculous. So I'm going to read off some of the names for this cast. Victoria Pedretti, Margot Robbie, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Kurt Russell, Dakota Fanning, Al Pacino, Timothy Olyphant, who I'm a huge fan of, Luke Perry, James Marsden, Tim Roth, James Remar, who I'm also another fan of, Damian Lewis, who I'm a huge fan of. All these names make up this movie, and it is crazy. It's got Bruce Dern, Michael Madsen. This is all one movie. Rumor Willis, the daughter of Bruce Willis. There was somebody else in here that really caught my eye too. Oh yeah, Harley Quinn Smith, Kevin Smith's daughter. So, I mean, this cast is absolutely amazing. I'm sold on this movie just by that alone. But I've also come to really love and trust Quentin Tarantino's vision for his movies. He always does very, very well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the #1 spot. My most anticipated movie of 2019. And if you've been paying attention to this list at all, you already know what it is. Avengers Infinity War 2. They don't have the official title yet for it, but the second Infinity War movie for Avengers is my most anticipated. How could it not be after seeing the initial Infinity War movie? It was absolutely amazing. They did such a good job with it. And of course, kind of a cliffhanger ending there. You don't expect them to keep everybody killed off, but you just never know who's going to stay gone. So I definitely want to see it. I want to see what changes they make to the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward, because you know this is going to be a massive transition and you expect people to actually be dead at the end. So I think that you're going to have people coming back. I think that you're going to have people going away. And with the cast that they have, it's already great. The Russo brothers have just killed it. Absolutely killed it. So I'm super excited for this, man. Just couldn't possibly be any more excited. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Avengers Infinity War 2. My top pick for the most anticipated movie of 2019. And honestly, that's going to be pretty high on a lot of people's lists, regardless of whether they're comic book movie fans or not. It was just a damn good movie to see this year. Can't wait to see how they close it out next year. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your picks are in the comments. Let me know what you think of my list. My name is Kevin Jackwitz. Kaged Nation out.